Hello and welcome back to the Fan Zone on this final day of the 2023 Le Mure National Dressage Championships. Warm welcome to all our guests here, and indeed if you're watching on Facebook Live, hopefully we're bringing a little bit of magic of these wonderful championships into your living rooms across the world. And I'm delighted to say that we're joined by a very special guest indeed. Please give a huge round of applause for Carl Hester. Hello, you. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. Yes, whirlwind 2 weeks, about to end tomorrow. There's 2 weeks of chaos with the Europeans and then the nationals and travelling, and it's lovely to be here though. It always, for some people strictly means Christmas. The national championships means Christmas for me, because it's the last show of the season for us here.
It's a fantastic event. It's a great showcase event of the sport that we love. In your own words, how special is this event for you?
Well, I mean, my career has been based around the national championships. I mean, when you're growing up, and I was a rider, riding lots of clients' horses, and our aim was always the national championship. So it's always been something that I wanted to do as I grew up, and all my owners wanted their horses to come here and qualify. And even now to still come here, I tend to only ride at the Grand Prix now, because the people that work for me will ride all the younger horses, and my head girl was here this week riding in the Novice Silver on one of my young ones. So that's my pleasure now, watching other people do that here. But of course it is for many people the highlight of their career, and the fact that this year, after 25 years for the anniversary, we also happened to win a gold, and our youth championship teams of course have also been very successful this year. It just shows the growth of the sport, that actually that all happened to happen this year on our anniversary.
Yeah, it's perfect timing, but it just goes to show how healthy the sport is in. I mean, we're leading the way, and we have to talk to you about the Europeans. Now you've had a bit of time to reflect, although I know your schedule is incredibly busy. The first team gold since London 2012. Cast your mind back to a week ago in Riesenbeck in Germany. What a wonderful, wonderful championships. The emotions must have been unbelievable.
Yes, they are very an emotional time, but if you think, we have actually still been medaling regularly since 2012, but it is always hard to imagine winning a gold medal in Germany, beating the Germans, who of course have been so dominant for so many years, and the teams that we all look to, and who we've learnt from over the years. So it was a very special moment to do that. I didn't actually realise, probably until 2 weeks before we went to the European Championships, that we were favourites, which was quite handy, because you don't want to go as favourites. It was interesting reading a quote in Horse and Hound, because of course they said, in eventing and show jumping, where variables are so much more obvious, in dressage, when you decide to pick somebody as a favourite, then you're stuck with that label. So we did go there as favourites, and that's quite a tall order for everyone to deliver performances. But for once, all four of us, delivered great performances, so nobody could be disappointed, nobody was unhappy. And bear in mind, this team of Gareth, Lottie, Laura and myself also happened to be the Tokyo Olympic team as well. So when you get thrown together for 2 weeks, in a very small space, which we were in Tokyo because of the COVID rules and situations at that time, we actually knew we all actually were friends, and we did get on. And so it's so relaxing when you're with people that you do get on with and you can spend time with. And so it was a great team atmosphere as well, with all of our, the army that goes with you. When people say to you, how do you win a gold? Well, it's really, of course you have to have your great horses and your riders and performances, but it's actually all the people that are around you that just make it possible for you to focus on riding. That's all we think about when we're there for a week, just riding.
But Carl, you have a sense of humility, because speaking to Charlotte in the main arena, she said yesterday, all credit to you. You are the backbone. You're the one that everybody kind of looks to. You support everybody. I'm just intrigued in that psyche, because the team spirit, as you've alluded to, is so massive and so significant, but it's really there with these group of riders, isn't it?
Well, I mean, for me, team is very important. Individuals are great. And, you know, in the past we've had great individuals, but, you know, I think once we put together a great team, then that's inspiring, because, you know, you've got 4 people on a team, all with different stories, coming from different backgrounds, and all making it a little bit more possible for those people that dream of being on a team, that one day that might be them. And what a team to be on, in a medal team. I mean, anybody that kicks me off, or Charlotte off, or Lottie off, or Gareth off, you know, has a chance of being on, you know, one of the best teams, I think, in the world at the moment. So that's why I think teams are really important. I mean, we do have to deliver performances, but, you know, a team is an inspiration.
You have achieved so much. You are a true ambassador for this wonderful sport that we all love. What gives you that impetus time and time again to compete, to perform, to go out there?
Well, it is running out.
No, it's not.
Well, of course, you know, like, success breeds success. You know, the great thing for me, or how it turned around, was I did 20 years of winning nothing internationally, really, no medals or anything like that. And then when the tide turned, of course, then I got my teeth stuck into it and thought, this is great fun. And this is inspirational, and this is what we enjoy. And then finally you become also competitive, because for those people that don't know, when you do an Olympics, you get given a huge amount of team kit. And so my first Olympics was over 30 years ago, and my t-shirt, one of my t-shirts at the time said that we were given as team kit, you know, and it said, winning isn't important, taking part is. So that was over 30 years ago when you competed at an Olympics. Now, you know, it doesn't say it on your t-shirt, but it might as well say, if you don't win, you're going to have your head chopped off. You know, that's how much more competitive it is today. And, you know, we have to deliver because so many people depend on it.
I think it was, am I right in thinking, your 22nd appearance at a major championship? Is that right?
Yeah.
Wowzers. Yeah. That deserves a huge round of applause, doesn't it? Crikey. What an illustrious career. And we must talk about your horse, Fame, owned by Fiona Bigwood. Yeah, of course, your 2016 teammate in Rio. Is there more to come from Fame?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I only been riding Fame for 9 months, so it's been quite a quick partnership. I mean, generally, I always think when you take on someone else's horse, it doesn't matter whether you're a novice rider or a Grand Prix rider. It normally is about a year before you get that gel really good. So the fact that he did what he did, and his best performances were last week, you know, that was amazing for me, because I mean, I just was so, you know, felt that trust that between him and I that's grown over the last 9 months. And that was incredible for him to deliver that for me. And you know, I've said it before, but you know, sometimes it is, when you know, if you're going to buy a horse, you have to remember, when you go to look at a horse, it's not really just about what it looks like. It's generally what will make you buy that horse is what it feels like. So it might not look like an amazing horse, but when you get on it, if it feels an amazing horse, you're probably going to buy it. And the first time I sat on Fame, it was love at first ride. And I was just so lucky to have him at this stage in my career. It's a bit unfortunate for Vogue, because of course Vogue is also very talented horse that's taken a long time to come to this level and be successful and reliable. I suppose that's really what's happened with Vogue this year, and he, you know, he deserved his limelight yesterday. So that was great for him, because he could also have gone to the European Championships and delivered a brilliant performance the way he's been this year. So, you know, it's wonderful having two horses at once, because of course you feel so much safer that, you know, if anything went wrong, you have a backup for teams. But they both deserve, you know, a special mention this year for what they've done.
Without question. But Fame, I mean, you must be excited by this partnership, especially when we mention the P word, Paris, next year in the Olympics.
Yes, you know, it's a very, this is, you know, is this going to be, you know, like the London moment? Because in 2011 we won our first European gold, and then that obviously took us forward to London where we won gold. Is this, you know, is this gold next year about to happen again? I don't know, but you know, you always know as well, you know, when somebody says to you, are you going to the Olympics next year? Well, you know, I don't put myself on the team. We have selectors that pick you, and you have to be the best on the day. There are lots of people, as you can imagine, who would love to be on the Olympic team, and it's actually it's a battle to get on that team. You know, it's not just off you go. So we'll see, because I mean, this time next year, of course, it'll be over. It'll already have been done. We've got 10 months, which seems incredibly short amount of time to be getting ready for an Olympics. And I think if you haven't got that partnership going now, it's the chances of being able to make the team next year are getting slimmer and slimmer. So, you know, we don't have a massive amount, but we have some good riders, good horses just coming through to Grand Prix now. And, you know, a year or 10 months even can make a huge difference to how you are performing and how your partnership is, and your scores could go up hugely in a year. So it's not just a done thing yet, but if it was that team, you know, that have been to Europeans this year, you know, it would be another great team and something we could be excited about, I think.
And something you alluded to at the start of our chat, the sport is looking incredibly healthy, and considering this is such a special year, 25 years of British dressage. I mean, try to put it into words. I mean, you've had such an impact on the sport, and indeed the sport has had an impact on you.
Yes, I mean, it's been my life, and a good life too. You know, I mean, I've loved my, you know, where I came from and how I got there, and you know, and the sport has done me very well. And to see, as we've already said, juniors, young riders, and pony, you know, I love seeing all these successes happening around us, because it is healthy, and you know, anyone that knows, you know, what horses can do for you and how it can keep your daughters and sons out of trouble, that's very important, because of course it's, you know, like there's more to it than just winning. You know, it's building relationships and dealing with animals, and so many wonderful things that go with it. You know, apart from just the sports side of it, it's a healthy way to live, I think.
And it's a tremendous sport. And as I said, as you've alluded to, the youth, the juniors are doing so well, making their mark on the world stage. The future is looking bright, isn't it, in terms of our future riders?
It is, but, you know, being on teams at that age, I mean, bear in mind, you know, like when we were growing up, you know, you just were a young rider, or you were an old rider, basically. You know, now, you know, with ponies, juniors, young riders, and under 25s, you've got 4 levels of championships that you can get experience from, that you can feel what it's like to be on a team, that you can be be a team player and realize what that means. You know, that, you know, you become less selfish, basically, by being able to be part of all of these things. And it's really, and of course when they start winning as well and doing well, I think it drives a lot of success, and it makes people get better.
Without question. Carl, it's always an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Huge congratulations once again on the achievements in the Europeans, and we'll look ahead to next year. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Carl Hester.
Thank you.
Great to get Carl Hester in the fan zone on this final day of the 2023 Le Mans National Dressage Championships. And we'll be back later this afternoon with more guests.